Today we have Eleftheria from Greece. We talk about app development, UX and UI, and also about her experiences as a public speaker and also as a content creator, her YouTube channel. We have so many topics to cover. So let's get started. How are you, Eleftheria?
I'm fine, and thank you for calling me to speak on your YouTube channel. It's my
Yeah,
pleasure and honor.
yeah, welcome. Yeah, we have chatted a lot, I think, on Twitter. We have interacted a lot, but finally we can make this video call. I'm so happy about that. So
Yeah,
welcome.
I'm also
Yeah,
very happy about that.
yeah,
And I see
yeah,
you're
yeah,
very social
yeah,
on
yeah,
social media, so it's
yeah,
my pleasure to be here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And we had some connection issues, but finally we made it. So I'm even happier about about that. So let's get started, and you can start talking about how did you become a developer, everything you want. Yeah.
Okay,
So
sure.
yeah.
So at first, like I went in an engineering university and I studied informatics and telecommunications engineering. So a lot of people have been asking me, are you a CS student? Are you a developer? Did you go to a boot camp or something? But the truth is that I did go to an engineering university, and there I did a lot of maths, a lot of physics, a lot of electronics, but not so much of coding. I only had like very few courses, and it was like the very basic things of Java, C, just a little bit of JavaScript. But then I had the opportunity to do an internship. It was like a very short internship. It was only 3 months, but in that internship, I decided to find something that had to do with coding. So I found my like first internship. It was about front end development, but I was mostly doing websites with WordPress or Drupal or something like that. It was my first time that I was seeing something like that. I liked it a lot, but as I was searching more and more, I realized that I had to know the basics, which for me the basics are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Because I started like realizing that I wanted to be a front end developer. After that, I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I also decided to do another internship. And this time it was abroad, because as you mentioned, I am from Greece, and currently I am in Greece. But that internship, it was in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. And it was like a great opportunity because I saw many more things and I started working on the things that I really like. So it was a startup and I was doing a lot of things. I was very happy. I was learning a lot of stuff as well. But I realized again that I didn't know all those things that I needed to know to find like a real job. And I really wanted to find like a real job and not just an internship. So back then I started doing for the first time the challenge of 100 days of code. And when I started doing like that challenge, I started learning again, like more and more. I started to have projects. I started to building a portfolio. I started using Git and GitHub. I started connecting with people also because I also started using Twitter. So through Twitter, I connected with a lot of people, and like we were talking, we were exchanging ideas, and I was taking motivation and inspiration from them. So I came back in Greece and I found my first job, actually because it wasn't very hard for me to find the job, not because I was like super skilled or anything like that, but it was because I think it was because I showed how much I wanted that. And although my projects like wasn't something professional, it wasn't something huge, but I had something even very little to show to the other people, to my boss, my ex-boss. So it was nice. And that's how I found my first job and I became a front-end developer. Yeah, pretty much that's my story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've also studied so quite similar experience. I did a computer science degree, and I didn't really code it that much there. I studied math, statistics, yeah, other algorithms which are very good, but not. I didn't have that so coding background there. And I had to do that by myself after. So yeah, so kind of similar experience. Thank you. Thank you for this, for hearing this. I didn't know about most of this. So thank you. And yeah, so you are focused on front end development. Which part of front end development?
I mostly do like with stuff with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I don't use like React or Vue or any framework like that. I used to work with AngularJS also, but AngularJS, because when I say AngularJS, people say, "Oh, you mean Angular?" No, I don't mean Angular.
Not
I
the
mean
same.
AngularJS, the old one. And there are even people that see my CV and they say, "Oh, you wrote that wrong on your CV." No, I didn't write that wrong on my
I,
CV. Yeah,
I'm
it's a Node.js, the old one. Uh, but now I very recently like changed jobs. So now I am working as an educator. I'm working in a high school. So now I'm teaching people, and I
I didn't know
always
that.
like loved teaching. So yeah, that's something
Oh,
very
yeah,
recent. And you're the
yeah.
first one that knows that, like publicly. It's the first time that I'm saying that. So you
Wow.
and your audience, like
I'm
you're the
I'm
first
getting so
people.
many exclusives. Yeah, yeah. And for example, I both of my parents are teachers, so I have some teaching inside me, inside my DNA. So I'm always happy when and every time I speak to someone, I discover that my friends have something in common with me. Really,
Yeah.
so this is great. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
My
This is,
my mother is also in that world, like the teaching world. So I knew that eventually I wanted to go there. But of course, that doesn't mean that I will stop being a developer or something like that, because I'm still doing some freelancing jobs and I will continue doing that. Also, I want to keep learning stuff, so I will definitely continue to be a developer and also like a teacher. So I'm really happy about that for
yeah.
myself.
Yeah. That's very good. I didn't even know about that. We will have this exclusive. Yeah. So thank you for this. Yeah. So now let's talk about public speaking, because and I also would like you to help us to understand the difference between doing a public speech and doing, for example, videos on YouTube, because you
Yes,
did both the experiences. So yeah,
yeah,
so
of
what was your
course.
experience with public speaking?
Okay,
Yeah.
I can start with the story on how I started public speaking. So as I mentioned before, I was doing the challenge of 100 days of code. And when I finished that challenge, I was very happy. And I wrote like a short article of what I gained by doing the challenge of 100 days of code. And I published that article on Medium. I didn't use Medium that much, but I did publish an article there, at least like back then, because it was like maybe even 3 years ago. I don't remember. Maybe it was even more. And in that article was seen by a person that was he was an organizer of an event of a conference, and he asked me like he said, "I like your article. Do you want to come and talk to my conference?" I was actually very shocked because I didn't know anything about conferences. I wasn't still working professionally, like nowhere. I just had done the challenge of 100 days of code and I was looking for a job, and that's it. So I didn't have any experience at all. And I thought that he was joking. But I replied like very quickly in his email and I said like, "Are you sure like what I'm about to talk in your conference?" And it was a conference about front-end development. So he said like, "I really liked your article and I would like to invite you to talk there." And I said like, "Okay, but how will I come there? Like I am in Greece and that conference was in Denmark, in another country." And he said like, "Okay, don't worry about that. We will organize everything." So that's how I started, and that was like my first experience like 3 years ago, we didn't have COVID, so we were allowed it to travel. And yeah, it was
Yeah.
like really nice. It was also my first time in Denmark. And then the second time that I talked in a conference, the same conference, the one in Denmark, they had also like, let's say, a branch in the Netherlands. So the same people asked me again if I want to talk to the Netherlands as well. And I said, of course, yes, I want to talk.
But
And I started like, yeah,
the year after or the same year?
yeah, it was, I think, like a few months apart, like maybe five,
Okay.
6 months apart. I don't remember. Yeah. And yeah, in the second meeting, in the second conference, I was feeling like more comfortable, and I started like meeting other speakers as well, because in the first one I was very shy and I didn't speak a lot to other people. But in the second one I started speaking more with the audience, let's say, and other speakers as well. And I started asking questions like, how are you going in other conferences? How are you doing the public speakings? Do you like it? Maybe you don't like it. Do you do it because for your personal reasons, or maybe your work sends you in events and conferences and stuff like that? So I started realizing how conferences are working, what you have to do to get into a conference, and all this kind of stuff. So eventually I started applying to conferences, and something that many people don't know is that you will apply to a lot of conferences, like a lot of conferences. You will get a lot of rejections, but
It's like
eventually,
it's
you
like
will,
interviews. It's like
yeah,
interviews. You in the end
exactly.
you get used to that. No, this okay.
Yeah. Eventually, yeah, you will get used to it. Yeah. But you will make also like really good relationship, and you will meet a lot of cool people. You will exchange ideas and all this kind of stuff. So now, like, I really love talking to conferences. And like, if you also want to talk a little bit about YouTube and the differences between these two
Yeah.
things,
Yes, please. Yes, please.
yeah.
I can't wait for
So
that. Yeah.
I, actually, I think that there are quite a few differences, and it's not the same as many people think that it is, because it's easier talking to a camera, and it's more difficult talking to a real crowd, let's say, because when you are in a conference, you will have like everyone sitting around you, or like next to you, so you will know that everyone like sees you, and they are waiting for you of what you're going to say. It can be a little bit like nerve-wracking. But from the other hand, when you are talking to a monitor, when you're talking to just a camera, you know that if people don't like you, they will maybe leave a bad comment, but maybe they will just switch to the next video, or they don't have to watch you ever again. And if someone is interested in making a YouTube channel, my advice would be to, if you don't have to show your face if you're feeling like shy or anything, something like that. You could just speak and use stock videos or images, and you could cover your face, so it's not a big deal. And again, I will mention the story of how I started my YouTube channel, because
I want to hear that.
yeah, I didn't start it by showing my face, and that's also why I'm giving that advice. A lot of people are afraid about that. So I started my YouTube channel when I was doing the challenge of 100 days of code again. And because I wanted to learn like good HTML and CSS, and then JavaScript, but first HTML and CSS, I was building like a lot of images, let's say, and I was doing another challenge called daily CSS images. And in this challenge, like, you were getting a theme every day in your email, and you had to code that using only HTML and CSS. So it could be something very simple, like to do a hamburger, but do it only with HTML and CSS. So I was doing that, and every time, like, everyone can find to my projects, they are on CodePen. But I started also to recording myself while I was doing this HTML and CSS stuff. And it was only code at first. It was nothing else. It was no voice, it was no audio, it was not my face. But then people started to commenting down from the video, like down below the video, that I should start speaking and explaining what I'm doing and not only like showing the video. And now that I remember it, I was speeding up the video because maybe it was taking like an hour for me to code something, and I was speeding up, so it was like 10 or 15 minutes. And people thought that I was typing so quickly, and they were like, "How can you type so quickly?" I'm not typing that quickly. It's just that I'm speeding up the video because otherwise it would be boring to just seeing a screen of someone not talking, not showing their face for 1 hour. Yeah, anyway, that was just a detail. After that, I was starting to speaking on my videos. And by that time, I also had to learn a little bit of video editing. And for video editing, I decided to go with Filmora, which is like a very easy to learn like video editing program software. And then after that, I also started to showing a little bit like my face. But pretty much, yeah, that's how I started.
Yeah, yeah, and I like the idea to, if you have problems by showing yourself in camera, as I had, you can trust me, that you can maybe break this problem into smaller ones. For example, in my case, I don't know if you know that, but I started by doing running videos, so nothing related to coding. So
Yeah,
I recorded myself doing something that I love. So not even coding, and so I didn't have to speak. Yeah, and so I solved the problem to record myself and put that video on YouTube. Then I moved on, and then I recorded my face with my also me speaking. So that's it. So this is also what I did. So yeah, I think we
yeah,
can give this hint. If someone wants to make some videos on YouTube, yeah, you can do. You don't have to do all in one video, so you can just record your screen, then you get used to that. Then maybe show your face, or maybe, for example, in my case, in some videos I did just an introduction with my face, then
mm,
show the screen, some seconds, just to get used to that. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And also, I have seen that a lot of people are waiting to have like the perfect gear, to have the perfect camera, to have the perfect microphone. But like just don't
I
wait to have like everything
I
perfect.
yeah, I was one of the people with that perfect excuse, because and I used that for months and years. Yeah, yeah. But I my favorite one is always has always been that I have no time to make videos. That's my favorite one. I use that for years. It works perfectly. Like 3 or 4 years, it worked very well.
But now you
Yeah,
have time,
that's
you will upload for 100 days straight.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I went crazy. So basically, yeah, I went crazy, and I need help. So yes, please like this video. Thanks for saying this, because yeah, and also yeah, but I think that the success, let's call it success, of this idea, I don't know, because it's an idea very simple. It's that I'm talking with my friends, so I'm really interested into talking with them. So we organized this video call. So we had a little problem before, but say no worry, we can do this later. So I'm really open to this. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I say this, that sometimes after I publish a video, I watch it myself again. So I'm a fan of my own series. I like that.
Really,
Yeah.
like I don't do that. I usually cannot see me again on a video. I don't know why. Maybe I should watch myself more, but I don't do that actually.
Sometimes it's hard, but for example, when I find the courage to do that, I always find that it's useful. So if I think that, okay, I'm doing this because it's useful, even if it's a little bit cringe, I am alone. It's my home, so I can just press play. Then just maybe do that for some seconds, then I pause because sometimes it's
Yeah.
very cringe. But I'm forcing myself a little bit to do that because I know that by watching my mistakes, watching myself, what can I change? I know that I can improve on the other one. So you never watch your videos again, or sometimes
No,
never.
no, never. I know a lot of people have advised me to do the same, like to watch my videos because I can see my mistakes and how I can improve myself. But I don't watch them. I don't know. I can't. It's cringe as you said. Like I cannot.
Okay, sometimes I'll send you some link of your videos somewhere. So if you click, you open your videos and you watch yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
maybe I should start doing it.
sometimes maybe I'm starting doing this because now that I'm editing them also. For example, the first ones, I think the first 10 ones, I didn't even use the editor. I used DaVinci Resolve. But before, I just used an online cutter to cut
Mm,
the initial phase and the final phase, and then I published that. Even if I had used already the editor for my running videos. Yeah,
mm.
yeah. And what you say, I keep repeating this. I had so many people repeating this that you don't need the perfect gear. I started making this kind of videos with the integrated webcam of MacBook Pro, which is, let's say, not say that the best webcam in the world.
Yeah, me
I was
too.
yeah, I was lucky enough to add this microphone. I'm really happy to have both it. Yeah, but so, and I also want to show that you actually can do something and then improve after some videos. So yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, after some videos, everything will improve. Like the video editing will be improved.
yeah,
Maybe you will buy a better camera or a better microphone,
yeah.
so it's okay. But the point is to start doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I also say that if you buy maybe a super expensive camera, then the camera can't solve your problems of shyness. I don't know, maybe I don't know, but in my case, it's not that. I think that you can also give a very bad impression that you are just a rich
Yeah,
person and also shy. So I don't know if that is the best idea to get started. Say, "Oh, okay, this guy is so shy, is so bad, and he's also rich. So people really don't like you. So maybe better have a normal camera to get
yeah.
started. I think this is my honest opinion. And then
I
you,
hadn't thought of that, but yeah, that's actually true. And you want to be relatable with other people too. If you have like a super rich camera, yeah.
I think, I'm in my opinion, quality of camera should be at the level of you. So if you are very good at speaking, and then you can buy a better camera, but only in that case. Otherwise, it's a bit strange for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay like that. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah. So, and which one was your last video on YouTube? Sorry.
It was an advice one, like this month. I'm trying every day to upload a video, but it's a very short video. It's about like 60 seconds or less because people usually say that they don't have the time to watch the videos. So I decided like for 1 month to upload almost daily, not on the weekends, but all the other days. Yeah, to upload these very short videos, and in each video I will try to give an advice. And this advice doesn't like isn't specifically something that has to do with coding or design, like UX and UI design, but it has to do a little bit with being more successful, if I can give an advice in that topic. But I'm talking about things like how to be more focused, or how to learn, or like how to keep information, how to track time and stuff like that. So in each video, like in 1 minute, I try to explain how to be more focused, how to learn and stuff like that. And I think like it's something nice, and it's also like a short experience for me because I can track, let's say, what people like and don't like, and like it's nice because I'm getting some feedback and also some ideas of stuff that I want to do in the future. And yeah, and something else is that I actually have a lot of ideas, and I wanted to shoot a lot of things because I have ideas of tips or career stuff or stuff to do with UX and UI or stuff to do with coding or sometimes even personal stuff. So I really have a lot of ideas, and every time, like let's say each month, I am trying to do something different because I'm trying to see what people like the most. So as I said, this month I am doing these very short videos, but I think that the next month we'll see something else on my channel. So stay tuned on my channel as well.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Of course, yeah, and yeah. For example, and when you have these kind of ideas for videos, do you write them down? Suddenly, of course, yeah, as soon as you
Yeah,
can, because sometimes I forget them, so I need to write them down.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think that you should. I'm
yeah,
using
yeah. Do
Trello to organize my ideas, and I usually have like two categories: stuff that I want to do like in the near future, and stuff that I want to do like later, maybe even in the summer if it's something that has to do with the summer, or like now Christmas is coming, so maybe something that has to do with Christmas. Or like it was like this month I had to find 25 ideas, 25 like short tips. So I used to write like every time that I was thinking about something, I was writing it down. And when I had a list of 25 things, I shoot everything in once. And then now I am just editing and uploading those short videos. But yeah, it was like a process to shoot everything.
no, yeah, well, this is very, yeah, this is very good, yeah, to record maybe once, because sometimes, for example, for my first videos, I needed to just to prepare like a setup with the lights. Then I put the lights on the kitchen table, so it was kind of stressful and time consuming. Now I'm getting this very good setup that I can just turn my chair and code, and then turn my chair and have this kind of calls, and it's
Yeah,
perfect. I love that. But for example, in the beginning, I had every time making a video was an event for this house. So yeah, I had yeah. So yeah, so
yeah, yeah,
in
I
I
get
think
it.
in your case, yeah, to record something, record more in one time is better. Yeah.
Yeah, and also a small problem for me it was that because I used to work in the morning and I was getting home at like late at afternoon, I didn't have much time because I wanted to have like good lighting. And in the afternoon or obviously in the evening you don't have good lighting, and I didn't have like any external light, so it was very difficult for me to shoot. And I had to wake up usually on the weekends like very early in the morning to shoot those videos, because also later in the weekends I live near the street, so there were many cars, and because it was
And,
in the weekend everyone it was
yes.
out in the street and it was very loud, so I also had like this kind of things. But now I have moved out to another space, and it's more quiet there and the lighting
Right.
is better. Like
Yeah.
the only issue is that my internet there is not very good, but yeah,
Yeah.
at least the lighting is better.
Yeah, for example, in my case, there are some dogs barking all day long. So, and I hadn't this microphone before, so which this one is easier. But before I had another one which captured all the sounds around, and so
Yeah,
I had, yeah, to wake up in the morning. I'm used to do that, okay, but I had to, yeah, or stay up late to record some videos with more silence. So yeah,
yeah,
sometimes people don't understand really the effort in just trying to make something a little bit better. But
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, and I think in the beginning we are also maybe worried a bit too much about these videos, that we don't want that noisy sound in the
yeah,
background. Maybe it's so little, but we don't want that. Yeah, I think that yeah, it's a process, and as you said, by having feedbacks is the best thing, because
yeah,
for example, I was so worried about my accent in the beginning. Really, I'm serious about that. After I made these first videos, I think it was about the Docker introduction. I think and I got some feedbacks like I like your accent. I don't know if, if you like it, like, but this made me or this gave me a bit of confidence about that we have an accent. For example,
Oh,
I like your tone of voice. I said this already a lot of times. Yeah,
thank you.
it's one of the things that makes me actually watch and listen to a video. Yeah, and but if I had never done this, I'd never even discovered this. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
we should try, get some feedbacks. We can improve. I don't know if
And
I've improved it this
And
month.
also, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
No,
but
no, no.
there are also some people that they're not feeling very comfortable with English, and it's not only because of their accent, but maybe they cannot speak so good. But they can also maybe start a YouTube channel in their own language, because and not in English, because there is always like an audience even in like your country or in your language. For example, I know that because I'm from Greece, there are not a lot of YouTube channel in Greek that especially talk about front-end development or design or tips about your career and stuff like that. So I think that other countries probably will have that, and it's also like a nice thing to start a channel with your language. You don't have to do
Yeah.
that in English.
Yeah, for example, for example, I have an idea now. For example, if you are from India, I think you can get a quite great audience also in your language. There's no problem with that. In my case, I wanted really to get better at speaking English, and also I had a quite big, let's call it big audience from Twitter. So I didn't want to make
It
the
is big. It is big.
it's not. It's not. It's not. Yeah, yeah. I had quite a bit time during the lockdown to interact with people. That's my secret. People say, "Oh, how did you make that?" I basically transferred all my commitment, which like 3 hours per day, into Twitter engagement. So that's the secret. And I've been in lockdown like for 2 months, for March to May, so 60 days in lockdown. We had a quite long lockdown here in Italy. I've used it kind of a lot. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, are you currently in lockdown or not?
No, currently no, not.
Okay.
We don't know. We have to wear masks always when in public places. Yeah, and but actually not. There are some places in Italy where they call them red zones. Then they are. I don't know exactly what are the rules, but I think that they are almost in lockdown. Almost. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Greece just got back in lockdown, so yeah.
yeah, so I think we will have a lot of time to make video calls and coding all day long. Yeah, and but I've already had so many people that said during lockdown I started doing this. During lockdown I started my YouTube channel. So yeah, I think this 2020 will be remembered as I don't know, the content creator year because basically we were bored and with a lot of time. So yeah,
Yeah.
this has been the perfect year to get started in doing something different. Yeah, and I didn't even use the socials before 2020, to be honest. Yeah, I started like
Really.
in January or February, on January this year. Before I
But
didn't.
you grew up so quickly in Twitter. Like you have so many
I don't
followers
know.
now.
I don't
I
know.
mean, this is very inspiring. I remember that I had sent you like a while ago in Twitter, and I had sent you like, how do you have like so much time? Because you
No,
always answer to people very quickly, and you're always there.
thank
So
you.
like this is
I try.
truly amazing.
I try to do that. My direct messages are still open. I don't know for how much time because I get hundreds of messages per day, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I like to interact with people. I think that one of my, let's call them, secrets is that I got connected with just developers. So I'm not just connected with random people. I think 1% of the people I follow are not developers. The other 99% are developers. And then if you send me a question about Docker or about development, I want to ask you, or maybe how can I get started with JavaScript and something, because I know that in the beginning it's quite kind of hard for a developer, because it was my experience, so I know that. And when I started to getting serious about development, I didn't even add this community because I didn't use the socials. So I was really alone, me and tutorials and building projects. So I know the problems that a person can have in the beginning. Yeah, and I like your videos, which are kind of different. I think that you can give hints to
Yeah,
people. We are developers,
yeah,
but we are still people. Sometimes I tweet about that because some people maybe tend to forget this. And also, this kind of videos, it's actually to show people that we are we are not bots. We are not coding bots. Yeah. So that's it.
yeah. And it was because, as you said, like a lot of people in Twitter or in other social media, they were asking, like, let's see, pretty much the same kind of questions. For example, they were asking, which tutorial should I follow, or what kind of project should I build. So I thought to make these videos with tips or advice, because a lot of people could benefit from the videos, and it was like a faster way, because then if somebody was asking me on Twitter like what project should I do if I want to be a front-end developer, I could just say watch that video and maybe you could get some good ideas. So that's also a reason of why I'm doing it.
Yeah, of course, because because sometimes it's hard to answer one by one. I get sometimes the same question 20
Yeah,
times per day. So yeah, and
yeah,
so yeah, I think in your case, it's perfect that you have done this kind of videos, so you can send the links. It's easier.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's easy because sometimes, and I think that sometimes I can give different answers in different days, because sometimes I forget about that, or one day maybe I forget that there is that cool JavaScript tutorial, or maybe it can change in the future. But yeah, I think that by making a video and just to link to the people who ask for that, it's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
faster.
and I also like that you have like a series about these ints. So if a person is interested into ints, they can watch all the videos, which I think they are pretty also not that long.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so yeah, they can just relax and watch them all. Do that,
yeah.
please, and leave a like. Yeah, once I started to making YouTube videos, I did way more like I put way more likes on the other on the other videos, because I really understood
How much time
how
effort?
much it
Yeah,
can help. So do
yeah.
that, please. Yeah, and yeah. So yeah, so it will be really funny.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I also started realizing when I was doing those videos how much time the other person, like the YouTuber, needs, like the effort behind that, because a lot of people don't understand like that you have to edit a video, that you have to upload it, and it's not only that you upload the video, then you have to fix the thumbnail, you have to fix the title, sometimes you write the description, you have to answer in comments,
Yeah.
sometimes you add the tags, you add the end screen, and a lot of people don't
Yeah.
know about this.
Yeah, and even if the developers like you are helping me to actually do this crazy challenge, I still have to do what you say. So thumbnails, title, many things apart
Yeah,
just recording. Oh, that guy is just recording and put it on YouTube randomly. It's not. There is something else. I'm also, yeah,
yeah,
now I'm editing, also changing
yeah,
something. Yeah, also the sounds, the equalizer. There are
yeah.
a lot of stuff behind.
And it's not only that, sometimes it's also before that you have to make some research. Maybe you have to make the research for the person that you want to connect with, or maybe if you're talking about Docker, you have to share something and stuff like that. So it's also the preparation before the video, and it's also everything after the video. So yeah, it's a long process.
Yeah, yeah. But I really like that. So I didn't even try, and I never tried that before. I started like in the 7th of August. I have almost, I think, 50 videos already,
Really?
and that's
Wow, good
that's it.
job.
So yeah, and sometimes also, yeah, sometimes by having a YouTube channel, you can also change. topic, or maybe you choose to make a different one, like I did in my case. But if you have all set, it's easier to get started. To Because I had already this YouTube channel. I made some editing before. But otherwise, I don't think that I've done this series from zero.
Yeah,
So this is also a good thing. Or maybe a new JavaScript framework get released, or maybe there is something new, or maybe also, as you know, in your case, you can have maybe a good idea from a question, and you are
yeah,
all ready. So it's easier. You can just record and put the video.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So that's it. Yeah, and what about socials? Let's talk about social, because you are so active. It's so many socials. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sometimes can be a little bit hard for me as well because with work and other stuff, like it can be quite hard. But I like Twitter a lot because I'm connecting with a lot of people, and as in your case, most of the followers that I have and most of the people that I am following are also developers, or like they have to do something with technology, so that's really nice because I see things that I want to see and then communicate with people that I want to communicate. And so I'm very focused on that. And I'm trying to be active, as you said. But I like that. So I don't know. I every time like I wake up in the morning and I will check my social media with most people. I guess they are doing these days. And I recently also not recently like about I think in June, yes, in June I also started my second Instagram account because I decided to have like an Instagram account for let's say personal use for friends and family, and also like another account that I could upload more content that had to do with technology, and again like connect with people that have to do something with technology. So again, in that Instagram account, I have a lot of coders, I have a lot of designers, or people that has something to do with tech in general. And like it's also something new to me because I didn't use to use Instagram that much, and now I have started to connecting more and more with people there. It's a fun way to connect with people. Sometimes it can also be a little weird and creepy, but that's okay. There are always like
It's
the
a
ups
game.
and downs of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
But yeah, like I really doing social. I really like doing socials, both Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
yeah. And we, of course, we'll put all the links in descriptions. In the first interviews, sorry for that, but there were people they say I use this kind of social, and I say, okay, thank you, bye. Instead, now, and I am learning to say, please follow her, and we'll put the link in descriptions. Do that.
Yeah.
Am I doing it right?
You
So
did it. Right. Thank you.
yeah, it's hard because it's so new for me, this kind of experience. I don't know. I'm laughing at my own videos, but I this is actually
Yeah.
it's pretty
But that's
funny.
how we
Yeah,
learn. Like we
yeah,
practice and we learn.
yeah. Of course, yeah, yeah. So yeah, thank you for being here. It has been
Thank
really a
you very
pleasure.
much for the
We
invitation.
we made it finally. I'm happy about that. Yeah, yeah. So thank you. And do you want to say something to close this interview? Maybe to someone who wants to, I don't know, to get started with something. For example, with public speaking or YouTube channel. I let you choose one of two because they are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and say something to them because maybe we can help them. I'm trying to do something. I don't know if you watched something on Twitter, like answer to this tweet with a small video. I'm trying to help them to get out of that comfort zone as I did. So I'd like to help them. How can we help them?
My advice would be everything that you want to do, like just start doing it. It doesn't matter how small or big it is, just start doing it and don't care much about what other people will say because sometimes we afraid of what others are going to say. So just start doing something and don't care that much about the other people. That would be my advice.
Perfect. I love that. Yeah. Sometimes I also say that you'll get bad comments anyway, so you are prepared to do that. You are prepared to that. So yeah. So it's a part of a game. There's no problem. Yeah, I remember the first time that I got a dislike on a video. I was like, I was so happy because I say, oh, finally I'm getting famous. Yeah, that was a bit strange, but yeah, that's it. So thank you again for being here. It's been
Thank
really
you.
a pleasure. And yeah, and one thing is that after I take these video calls, I can read the tweets with your voice. Maybe in your case, I already do that. Maybe it's even easier now. Yeah, and I love this kind of making strong connections with people to know each other a little bit more, just a little bit more. Yeah, and I love that.
And yeah, exactly. I also love that because, as you mentioned, sometimes we were talking in Twitter, but we hadn't speak like
It's
in
different.
real life. Like, so yeah,
It's
that's
different.
way better.
It's different. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Thank
see
you.
you next time. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.
Let's stop.